Diede de GROOT Aniek van KOOT of the Netherlands taking on KAMIJI Yui and TANAKA Manami of Japan. 1 seed versus the 2 seed. Just how you draw it up, Paul.
Yeah, you looked at the schedule for the day, and it was seeds everywhere in this match here. 1 and 2 seeds in the semifinal for the men's. It's 1 and 4 seed, and in the singles final for the quads, 1 and 2 seeds. So all the favorites are moving through and getting to these medal matches. The best of the best have taken care of their business so far, and we're going to see the best of the best on display here. Lizzie de Grief from the Netherlands here to support her teammates in the stands, no doubt.
And as has become the tradition at both the Olympic Games and the Paralympic Games, we begin a session with what is known as the coup de bâton, the trois coups. It's a tradition from French theater, 3 strikes of the baton to draw the attention of the gathered spectators to the spectacle about to unfold. And this is a familiar face to fans of wheelchair tennis. This is Dylan Elcott. Maybe fanned on that overhead. There we go. Landed it.
Ever the flair for dramatics, Mr. Alcott.
We will have the quad singles men's final later in the session. There will be a new Paralympic Games champion in quad singles in the men's.
Yes, it's Alcott who took the gold in both Rio and in Tokyo. And now it's time for the new generation, and we will see them later. The new generation will be on display in that quad singles final. But some of the old generation, the old guard, some of the experienced veterans of the game here in the women's doubles are going to be on display. Intros right now.
As the athletes take the field of play, KAMIJI Yui and Tanaka Manami of Japan are introduced to the throng here at Philippe Chatrier.
And that is what the faces of excellence look like right there. Defending gold medal champions in Tokyo, longtime partners, success across the board for both of them in singles, doubles, but there is no better doubles team in the world than Diede de GROOT and Aniek van KOOT.
Athletes preparing in these custom-made tennis chairs.
Yeah, some of the athletes have incredibly customized chairs. I mean, that one that you're seeing Diede de GROOT get into right there, exceedingly customized. The one that Aniek plays in, a little more what you would kind of call a standard chair that the majority of the athletes play in. All of these, though, are sized specifically for the bodies of these athletes so that when they move, the chair goes with them. They really, just to use a little bit of a cliche term, they want that chair to be one with their body. And the more that you can design it for your specific body, makeup, chemistry, the more you get the response you need in the moments you need it most.
And Paul, for spectators that may not have ever seen wheelchair tennis before, please explain the differences in the rules between Olympic tennis and wheelchair tennis.
Yeah, keep it pretty simple, really, to be honest with you. The only rule change is that the athletes are authorized 2 bounces if they choose to use 2 bounces, with that first bounce needing to land properly inside the doubles court or the singles court as applicable to singles or doubles game. And we're going to see that on display here where you get some angled shots that are going to run off the sideline, and it gives the athletes in the chairs time to run it down with that second bounce. When I'm coaching, I'm always telling the players, especially at the higher levels, you want to play on 1 bounce, but you want to utilize that second bounce to your advantage or out of necessity. And we're going to see that on display, and we'll point that out as the opportunities present themselves here today. Longtime coach there, Amanda Hopmans, specifically coaches Diede de GROOT, has done a great job for many years getting her to ascend to the #1 position in the world and been there for a while now. Since 2018, she's dominated that slot.
But let's not sleep on this Japanese pair.
No.
KAMIJI Yui and TANAKA Manami. KAMIJI Yui having another splendid Paralympic Games, and here she is in yet another final. Multiple Grand Slam winner.
Yeah, between the four of these players, we have a current world #1, and we have two former world #1s in KAMIJI Yui and Aniek van Koot. So the lone person yet to ascend to that level is Tanaka. Now, what role can she play here today? She's probably very likely going to be the one under the stress and under the duress of the Dutch attack. We're going to see how she holds up under that heavy pressure.
6 gold bottom 7 and 9, full crew of line judges and ball kids, and as well on clip, if this is on the call, please clearly stop the point and say something. It will be easier for everyone, and I will check them out. And 25 seconds between points started when you reach the baseline area. You got the shot clock on the scoreboard. Any question? For the towel, you take the pink one, you take the one with the blue spot. Okay? So Paris 2024 or wheelchair tennis? Wheelchair tennis. Wheelchair tennis for you? So this one? It's Paris 2024. You receive? Have a good match.
Chair umpire Paralympic Movement conducting the coin toss and explaining the rules of play to the athletes, and coin toss hit the net, to be fair.
Let. It was the first let of the match. Should have called and replayed that point. Yeah, and I think it's important here. You talked about this matchup and that we should not dismiss the Japanese. Of course we should not. They've earned their way here. They're in this gold medal match, so clearly they know what they're doing. But what's important for me and what I've really enjoyed throughout the entirety of this competition here is the format for the doubles in both the men's singles and quads. You don't have to win 2 out of 3 sets. You just have to muscle out a set somewhere and you get it to the match tiebreak. If somehow the Japanese, being, I would say, the heavy underdogs in this match, if they can claw out a set, now we go to the match tiebreak. As I like to say, all bets are off. Anything can happen in that race to 10. So that's what they're looking to accomplish here today, and the Dutch are looking to just put the hammer down and probably try to take it in straights.
And I think you've partially answered a question I actually wanted to ask you, which is from the perspective of the Dutch team coming into this match, as you say, #1 seed, probably heavily favored. How do you mentally approach that as a coach when you're going in there with the favorites tag?
Yeah, you got to say, hey, listen, I mean, you really got to emphasize this format and say, hey, listen, girls, we cannot afford to have moments of unfocused. We cannot have moments of just kind of lackadaisical. It's a little bit more of a sprint, you know, to use kind of the Olympics and Paralympics track and field model. This is less of a 1,500 meters and more of a probably 800 meters now without a legitimate third set. So you've got to be ready to go hard throughout the entirety of it, get your job done in 2, and not let it take that opportunity into that tiebreaker as just really chance.
And conversely, from the perspective of the Japanese coach, when you're in there and perhaps wearing the underdog tag, what would the advice be to KAMIJI and Tanaka?
Well, we'll take a look at how things got here for the Japanese, and we'll follow up on that. Pretty convincing. Look at that. Bye in the first round, straight sets, only lost 4 games so far, so really impressive. So, as you stated, this is a really legit team right here, and of course they are. They're in the gold medal match.
In some respects, as underdogs, you'd suspect really playing with no pressure. Just go out there and let it hang out, really.
Yes, and I like the dynamic that we have on the court with both teams having the righty-lefty combo, which as a coach, I mean, just love doubles teams when you can create that righty-lefty combination. It just creates an interesting dynamic. Where's the lefty? Where's the righty? The spins are different, so everybody's a little bit more, it's just tougher to get a groove. So I like that we have that matchup here on both sides.
First time, doubles semifinals. Please welcome from Japan, Tanaka.
Great look at Tanaka right there. Wow, handlebar mustache.
That's maximum French.
Old school right there.
chaise de l'arbitre, vous voyez l'équipe néerlandaise avec la visière bleue, cette droitière étagée de...
I think the difference, you know, as we get into this match a little bit, just to give a little heads up and why there might be. Go ahead and give this breakdown here, Hans.
Well, de Groot and Van Koot rolling their way, didn't win games in straights, but did not drop a set. And wearing that favorites tag, moving their way straight through into this final and looking to repeat as Paralympic Games champions.
That's just what the Dutch do. Nobody in the history of medal matches in wheelchair tennis has been able to dethrone the Dutch in the doubles. And that is impressive.
It absolutely is. You associate countries with sports and disciplines, and the Netherlands, you often think, you know, in Olympic and Winter Olympic context about things like speed skating, long track speed skating, but wheelchair tennis, particularly women's doubles, absolutely owned by the Dutch.
Yeah, across the world, if you think about the Brazilians in soccer, or maybe the Argentinians and things like that, the great Canadian hockey players and things like that. In wheelchair tennis, the Dutch women have had a dominance unlike any other nation in any other sport since the inception of this sport, really. Back in the 80s when it became a kind of international sport. They have just, they've figured out the recipe. It's a perfect storm there in the Netherlands, and they are doing it.
Dutch tandem being introduced to the crowd here at Philippe Chartier.
What a visually appealing sight right there. I mean, look at that. That is aesthetically as pretty as it gets. Maybe the grass at Wimbledon, but I think the red clay just pops. And if you're watching at home, I can't imagine a better spectacle to look at right now than Philippe Chatrier Stadium here at Roland Garros.
Now, Paul, we were talking earlier in the tournament, and I asked you about chairs and clay versus hard surface. And so, are there any differences in terms of preparation or training that you might be doing for clay versus hard surface?
Well, you're certainly going to get yourself on, you know, and in preparation for an event like this, the Paralympics, the highest echelon of this sport, you're going to be exclusively on the red clay if you have access to the red clay as long as you can for a period to build up in preparation for being on the red clay. Now, some places have more access to red clay than others, but I think ultimately most of the athletes that came here in preparation for these games were on clay in preparation for weeks at a time prior to these games. So what's the difference? Well, typically it's considered the first push and your ability to roll on the clay versus hard court. On hard court, more momentum. We'll get into it. We'll continue to talk about the differences, but let's just see this first point unfold.
Netherlands versus Japan. Women's doubles final is underway.
And everybody getting involved on point number one, kind of like a little warm-up rally right there, but ultimately it's Van Koot with the forehand through the middle.
On serve. Double faults. I did one of her singles matches earlier in the tournament, and right out of the gate, took her a while to find serve, and double fault here in game one.
She had some trouble serving to the deuce side yesterday in her singles semifinal. Specifically on the deuce side. Struggled a little bit. Struggles continue.
Number one ranked women's singles player on earth, Diede de Groot.
Galaxy. Let's just throw it out there. Universe. She's been amazing for an extended period of time.
A little bit long with that return to serve.
I talked about the righty-lefty matchup, and there's a great example right there where normally Van Koot is going to be attacking with that inside-out forehand, and she's going to be going into the backhand of a right-hander. But now she's going into the forehand of KAMIJI, and it's kind of a balanced, kind of negates that attack. So that's an interesting dynamic. We'll see how it unfolds throughout the day.
First break point of the match. Tremendous volley.
And it's not up. Great job there by Aniek Van Koot, sneaking in, showing off the hands. Something we're likely to see a little bit more from the Dutch than we are from the Japanese team, is coming in and the ability to do that.
Slice.
Good get.
Oh, how good.
That is beautiful tennis from Aniek Van Koot, one of the great doubles players in the history of the sport. Knew exactly what she wanted to do. Pulled in KAMIJI here, and no hesitation. Up and over, clean winner, no chance for Tanaka to track that one down.
Having successfully fought off 2 break points, we're at deuce.
Pretty seamless switch there from the Japanese team.
Winner.
Nicely done. I think the Dutch anticipating an attack through the middle. Tanaka wisely takes it up the line past Van Koot here. Watch the Dutch protect the middle. Yeah. Held that ball so nicely.
Perfect placement. Third break point. That return just long, so first break. Japan with the best possible start, leading 1 game to love. First game of this women's doubles gold medal match.
Yeah, it's going to be a test of patience here today for the Dutch, as the Japanese team is going to look to put up this just unified backcourt, solid wall, not a lot of attacks in the front court, as you saw on display there in the first game. And can the Dutch figure out the formula as how to get past and through and around that united front of Japan?
It's a nice angle volley from de KOOT in that first game. But Japan showing us that they are here to play. It is not going to be a coronation for this team from the Netherlands. They are going to repeat as Paralympic Games champions. They're going to have to earn it on the court. It is not going to be handed to them. Tanaka on serve as we begin the second game of this gold medal match. Oh, splitting the defense for the winner.
Yeah, and I think this could be an area that we really hone in on here. Neither one of the Japanese players dynamic on the serve. So very few free points, very few really great looks after the returns. I think this is an area that the Dutch are going to look to really exploit throughout the day. They're going to be on the attack and look to press the action off the return of serve game.
Chair positioning of de KOOT.
You see both the Dutch women so far getting well inside the baseline to make these returns.
Ready to receive serve. Once again up the middle, bearing fruit for the Dutch.
Yeah, and typically the strategy is going to go hard with the return at the server, not allow that server to get any momentum created. So now you really create a 2-on-1 attack versus the other player. So for example, Tanaka serving, she's going to get pinned down oftentimes. Yui's going to be able to get moving, but that's a 2-on-1 attack from the Dutch against the Japanese players. Great lob there, and KOOT covers with the lefty forehand.
Attempted winner, and it's a good one. Cross court, Diede de KOOT.
And that's the firepower we see from the world #1 right there on display. And that's just something that the Japanese cannot match. Singular firepower.
Triple break point. Looking to break straight back after a service break in the first game. Great opportunity for the Netherlands.
That's just too good right there.
Aniek van KOOT with the lovely cross-court drop shot. Perfect angle. And a straight points break for the Netherlands.
That's just pure doubles playing experience there. Comfortably knew exactly what she wanted to do from the minute she took off after that drop shot.
So although Diede de KOOT justifiably gets so much of the attention, it's actually Aniek van KOOT who is carrying the early load for the Netherlands, playing very well. And she is on serve.
She's won gold with multiple partners, so clearly she is a integral cog in the machine that is Dutch women's tennis on the doubles court. Look at that. And if her forehand is on, then it's tough times for any opponent. The backhand is always rock solid. Forehand can be dicey sometimes, but it's been very good so far today.
An absolute rocket cross court. Just long with the attacking shot, Diede de GROOT. Down to the visor.
Yeah, and we're clearly seeing the game plan. They're going to continue to attack Tanaka until they get something weak, and then maybe be able to exploit KAMIJI. KAMIJI going to see very few balls here today. She gets to serve, she gets to return, and then she gets to just watch Tanaka and hope that her partner can hold up.
KAMIJI awaits the return. Oh, there's a winner from Diede de GROOT. Approaches the net, puts it away. Lovely.
Yeah, the fact that she could top that ball. Many players would dig that out with the slice, but her ability to get over that, underneath it, and then roll it into the open court and have it still explode. Different level.
Aniek van KOOT speaks 6 languages.
That's like 7 more than I do.
Patience paying off. As that lob goes long. Game point for the Netherlands.
Moving along nicely now. Kind of got a little rhythm, got the game plan established, looking pretty comfortable as they look to get to this early break with a 2-1 lead.
Looking for our first service hold in this match. Netherlands with a great opportunity to do just that right now.
Saw a good example there of something the Dutch are able to do that I think the Japanese have not been able to do so far on that return of serve, even with the attack from KAMIJI. It's de GROOT who's able to take that pressure off the server and get that first ball. And that allows van KOOT to get up and running.
Oh, what a wonderful volley. Aniek van KOOT has started this women's gold medal match in absolutely blazing fashion.
Yeah, don't know if KAMIJI was, I think she was trying to whip that one past her. It didn't look like she was trying to lob. I think she was trying to get to that alley, not able to do it. And van KOOT sticks the winner.
Netherlands 2, Japan 1. First set, women's doubles gold medal match at the Paralympic Games.
Tennis players have specially designed wheelchairs. The ball may bounce up to 2 times, but the second bounce may also take place outside of the court.
En 1982, la France est devenue le premier pays d'Europe à créer un programme de tennis en fauteuil roulant.
In 1982, France became the first country in Europe to create a wheelchair tennis program.
Time.
Lots of smiles on the faces of the Dutch contingent here at Philippe Chatrier. A little bit more concern in the Japanese supporters camp. Best 2 out of 3 sets. Gold medal match.
Tough spot for KAMIJI and Tanaka now to try to get this hold.
Just long with the approach.
Saw an example there in the early going of that point. Maybe the difference between these two teams had an open court. KAMIJI goes strong with the forehand, but it's not strong enough. And Van Koot's able to prolong that point. On the Dutch side, they're able to finish those points a little bit more. So that's kind of one of the separating points from these two teams here.
Japanese fans here in numbers 2. Well, that cross-court attempt misses the mark.
Get the sense that most of these points, the overwhelming majority of these points, are on the rackets of the Dutch team. They're going to dictate play. They'll hit the winners, but it could be the unforced errors too. If they can keep those under control, they should be in good shape. Japanese are going to be steady all day.
Oh, lovely backspin drop.
With KAMIJI up, she knows that Tanaka has got to stay deep to defend. Right here, you know, Tanaka's getting depth, thinking an attack is coming, dumps the ball, short court. Great court sense there by the world number 1.
Red clay on the ball. As that backspin bit. Japan already making history. This is the first Japanese team ever to reach a women's doubles final at the Paralympic Games. Oh, you could tell that Van Koot wanted to attack that return, just netted it.
Had ill intent. That's kind of what they're going to have to live with today. Staking aggressive cracks at some things to try to dictate play, dealing with the unforced errors if they come, not backing off.
So Japan with an opportunity to have a service hold in return to the one delivered by the Dutch in the previous game.
The little rushed there on that second serve didn't really look comfortable. Kind of looked like she rushed through it. And again, when you know that Diede de Groot's on the receiving end and that you've got to get that chair up and running, you might just get out of rhythm once in a while.
Just serving it deuce, left-hander. Diede de Groot wanted to hammer that one, and she did, but misses the line. Advantage Japan.
Even with that miss, she sends a signal that you need to be ready for that attack at any time, and that has an impact on the match. Tanaka doing a phenomenal job there of just accepting the pace and the relentless attack from the Dutch and just outsteadying them. And KOOT with the unforced error. Tanaka holding up her end right now.
It's a service hold for Japan. Gold medal match, first set, best of 3. They're deadlocked, 2 games apiece. Netherlands on serve. This will be Diede de GROOT. First net of a return that we've seen from KAMIJI.
She is rock solid, just relentless. Balls in play, tactical genius on the court in singles. That's her specialty. Ability to move the ball all around the court. Not the firepower that somebody like de GROOT has, but tactical IQ off the charts.
Manami preparing to return serve.
And if the Dutch continue to give free points, that's exactly going to play into what could give this Japanese team some real confidence. Their steady play is their pressure.
GROOT struggling with serve early in this match. We've seen that in some of her singles games as well. The serve comes right, look out. Come on! That'll get the blood racing.
Not only powerful, just look at the location here. And this is the type of shot it needs to be in order to beat these Japanese girls, as they can cover court, but that thing is painted.
Spectators at Philippe Chatrier appreciating that skill. .30-15. Second double fault of the game for Diede de GROOT. First service percentage, just 39% for the Netherlands at this point.
And we're back to neutral.
Well, candidate for point of the match early going.
Yeah, this is where things got a little interesting. I thought Van Koot might come around the post right there and try to come behind KAMIJI. Point gets lengthened, the drop shot attempt and the unforced error. Japanese looking strong right now. Confidence growing with every point won here, as the Dutch continue to struggle on the serve in particular.
Break point. We'll get a look at second serve. And TANAKA Manami preparing to serve for Japan, who are now enjoying a 3-2 lead and are on serve in this first game, this best-of-3 women's doubles final.
I think she's been the difference maker so far. She has held up 5 games into this match. She has held up her end of the partnership and has looked very strong, very reliable. It's going to force the Dutch into perhaps some different tactics.
Lovely volley.
Not the strength of KAMIJI up there at net, exposed ultimately. She makes her living at the baseline and behind. So look to see if the Dutch can draw her in more often.
Just wide.
Couple of errors off the racket of KAMIJI now. And, the service game of Tanaka continues to be an area that the Dutch have been able to get to so far. Broke her in the first go-round. Looking to do the same here.
Netherlands looking to get back on serve. Service break would be huge for them right now. Quality point, just applying steady pressure from the baseline.
Very steady and relentless. And ultimately, it's the weaponry of GROOT and them having to respect all areas of the court. It's the middle that she chooses on that particular occasion.
Triple break point. Diede de GROOT wanted to end that game early, attacking the return, but nets it.
And why not at love 40 or 40 love in their favor? Take a rip on a second serve. Not a bad choice. Kind of keeps your motor running. Keeps you in that aggressive mindset.
Van KOOT to receive. Still 2 break points for the Netherlands. Strong return from Van KOOT, forces the error, and that will be a break for the Netherlands. And we are back on serve.
Back and forth we go, but there's that continued heavy pressure on Tanaka.
Chair umpire Aniek looks on.
Up to the Dutch to get their service games in order here. Probably looking at the entirety of this match thinking, all right, we've now established that we can break Tanaka with some regularity. I think that's what they're thinking right now. We've got to take care of our service games. If we do that, we're going to be in good shape.
It will be Aniek Van KOOT to serve for the Netherlands. Great court coverage again from all of these athletes.
Yeah, the Dutch are seamless in that department, as have been the Japanese so far. Offensive opportunity there by KAMIJI, finds the net.
Van KOOT goes for the corner winner, but just wide. Feels like to me, Paul, that the Dutch team are feeling it a little bit more now, and they're pressing harder with those attacking shots. Not all coming off, but signaling their intent anyways.
No doubt, that is the strategy. They know they can't back off that and just fall into a get balls in play pattern. That would flip the advantage to the Japanese, I think. So they've got to maintain that aggressive posture. It's the hallmark of their game, so there's no reason for them to back off it.
Oh, there's a winner from the backcourt from KAMIJI Yui.
Yeah, the lob didn't need to be that good this time. The group's so tight to the net. Watch how close she is. Just got to get it over her head and down. And KOOT just no time to chase that one down. Not enough air underneath it.
Full stretch. But just cannot get it back in court. So Japan with an opportunity to break.
And that's kind of like a little bit of a, you know, is Japanese going to be steady here again? Is Tanaka or KAMIJI just going to put another ball in play? And all of a sudden they just pop one into a corner and they catch you off guard. That's kind of where they kind of sneak up on you a little bit, and it will take a point, steal a point.
And that one's into the net. Flip of the racket in disgust from de GROOT, and Japan have broken. What a gold medal match we have got going on here.
18th unforced error by the Dutch team. That is the difference so far, and that's what's given Japan 4-3.
Excellent start for the team from Japan. Number 2 seeds coming into this match against the number 1 seeds, but the 2 seeds so far having the slightly better of the scoreboard anyways, if not the general play.
So many times it comes down to this simple statistics of consistency and the unforced errors, especially in doubles. When there's 4 good players on the court, all capable of covering court, and they know how to do it as a tandem, there's really no place to go. So ultimately it's a test of patience and who can stay steady longer. And right now the Japanese have been steadier and have forced the Dutch into some uncomfortable opportunities. And the unforced errors, as mentioned, are beginning to mount and kind of create an issue for the Dutch right now.
So what do you imagine is the conversation going on in the Dutch camp now in terms of, do you change approach? Do you just stick with what you're doing?
Just a little bit more, stay aggressive. They have to do that, but maybe a stay aggressive to a few more high percentage targets and really wait for the moments when there's a clear opening, which is tough when Japan's doing such a great job of covering court. But we'll see if they adjust their targeting just a little bit. Maybe a few more attacks to the middle.
That one just long.
And confirmed.
One thing that you can do on the red clay that it's hard to do on a hard court. Ask the umpire to come down and have a look at a ball mark.
Oh, this would be amazingly big if Japan could get a hold here and get that 2-game advantage and put the Dutch in a spot to serve to stay in the match or in this set.
Miscue on the backhand that time from Tanaka. Nets.
Still +10 in the unforced error department compared to the Dutch.
Patience being shown on this point by the Dutch team. And it pays off.
Perfectly noted, 100%. And the Dutch are capable of doing this if necessary. I mean, their preference obviously is to slug and get after it and push people around, kind of bully them on the court. But they have hit thousands and thousands of balls, so they are capable of going that route if necessary.
Push to aggression coming back into the Dutch game on that point, but KOOT nets the attack shot. 30-30. Just catches line.
Like this view right here. You're getting to see it at the angle from the players. Height of the ball, trajectories, depth in court, pace. Great view right here.
Just wide.
Tanaka with the dropper, seizing the opportunity to pull de Groot, and if she can't track it down, nobody can.
Got racket to ball. The return goes wide. Game point. Opportunity missed for Japan, and the Netherlands forced the game to deuce. Paul, you touched on it. This has the feel of an enormously important game in this early going in the match.
Yeah, you're coming around here. They go up 5-3, Dutch serving. We've looked at the statistics. They're struggling so far in that department. That would be a tough service game right there.
We are at deuce. And a very unfortunate double fault for the Japanese. KAMIJI Yui. They say that great athletes need very short memories.
Oh, I believe it 100%. Have to dismiss it. I think she's one of the best at that typically and historically.
Oh, how good is that? Diede de GROOT. Huge break of serve for the Netherlands.
It's such a relief when the Dutch in particular can get a point like that. Get a serve, one return, not have to grind out a point. That's the luxury that they have compared to the Japanese. And it's almost a relief when they can get a one swing, 1 point in their favor. A little bit demoralizing too for the Japanese.
So can Diede de GROOT find her serve? Well, first serve in on this occasion. Oh, angle for angle from the Dutch. What a point.
Then KOOT opens it up on the Tanaka side. De GROOT finishes it on the KAMIJI side. Really beautiful point right there. I think we're going to come back to that 4-3 game there and the chance that KAMIJI and Tanaka had. One chance to hold. That might have been the difference.
Oh, how good was that? TANAKA Manami, cross court, beauty.
I mean, it's do it once. Maybe it was lucky. Do it twice. It looks pretty comfortable. She's got that shot. And the Dutch are going to have to continue to respect that going forward. She pulls that out of nowhere. Disguises it beautifully. Tanaka doing such a great job with the depth piece.
KAMIJI nets. At that point had a lot of everything. And KOOT keeping the point alive with a, really just had to fight one off in the corner. Ultimately the Netherlands prevail on the point. 30-15. Moments to remember. Philippe Chartrier. Catches line. Settles down. Incredible get. And a miss hit off the rack. It ends an epic point at Roland Garros.
We don't have enough time to unpack that one. There was so many different dynamics that went on throughout the entirety of that point. That would be a coach's delight to get that one on film, sit some young players down and says, let's break this point down here in its entirety. But ultimately, it's what has gotten them here this far. Japan too steady. Wow.
30 all. Van Koot with the winner.
Sitting on that one. She's seen it a number of times now from Tanaka. She read that one, got on the wheels. Look at that. Double wheel push in, rolls it cross court. Sends a message.
Game point for the Netherlands. Well, every game important in a gold medal match, but service hold here essential, but a double fault at the worst possible time for Diede de Groot. Brings us back to deuce.
6th of the match, and that one came at a critical time. We had an earlier one for a game point that went in favor for Team Japan. Now this one, Dutch with a chance to get a game and go up 5-4. That one potentially costly as well.
The knowledgeable spectators at Philippe Chartrier trying to rally de Groot after that double fault. That one just long. So it will be game point for the Netherlands. Their bit to hold. Good first serve that time, but the approach is long. We go back to deuce.
This one is starting to build into one of those games that is an absolute difference maker. You have to believe the winner of this one has some significant momentum going into that changeover.
First set, the best of 3. To the net. And for the winner, Diede de Groot.
That's what #1 players in the world do in moments, big moments. They say, you know what, I've got to be the top dog here on the court. I've got to take over and do some things. Didn't hesitate one bit right there.
Taking charge. And she hits an absolute perler to win the point and win the game.
Yeah, and that all started there when Tanaka got out of sorts right there on that little half volley, not in between hop, not able to do enough of that, allows the Dutch to get on the offensive, and then there's the finish by de Groot.
As Paul said, champions doing what champions do. Great volley in the clutch. 5-4 lead for the Netherlands over Japan in the women's doubles gold medal match. First set, best of 3. Sweeping view at Philippe Chatrier at Roland Garros, this fabled venue, Grand Slam venue, and now the venue at the Paralympic Games for wheelchair tennis. First time ever at the Paralympic Games that we've been at a Grand Slam venue. And this gold medal match in women's doubles, worthy of the occasion and worthy of the venue. We have got an absolute dynamite match going here. Tanaka of Japan to serve. Serving 4-5, first set.
Yeah, I think the pressure is relieved right now for the Dutch for the moment. I think they're going to get back to their aggressive ways here and look to close this out. Diede de Groot finished that last game on a hot streak. Look for that to continue here.
And there's a winner up the middle from Aniek van Kut. And Paul, you mentioned this Dutch team have had some success attacking Tanaka on serve.
Yeah, that's been the consistent thing we've seen throughout the day here. All service games for Tanaka have been a struggle.
Love 30.
Mixing it up beautifully. Van Kut showing off the touch.
3 set points for the Netherlands.
And that's what you get when you've been relentlessly driving balls on the return at that server right there. She's anticipating something, waiting for that pace to come, ready to absorb, doesn't have a chance to get moving, and then at a dead stop, the drop shot comes, no chance.
They say sometimes it builds slowly, then it happens fast, and it's happening fast here in this game for the Netherlands.
There's the attack, right? That's it.
Service break for the first set for Diede de Groot and Aniek van Kut. What a battle it was in this first set, but set number 1 going to the current Paralympic Games women's doubles champions. De Groot and van Kut 6, KAMIJI Tanaka of Japan 4. 1 set in the books.
Yeah, that Dutch team had to come into that return game there with just an immense amount of energy. Here's our 57-minute statistics on the set. Ultimately, look at the total winner differential. Difference maker right there. And the steadier unforced error numbers from the Dutch as well, from the 4-3 game on through the completion of that set. That was the difference.
It's a real battle for those. There's been so much talk about this Dutch team as we enjoy some of the action from that first set.
There were plenty of great moments. Drop shots on display from both teams. Lob there from KAMIJI. That was the most dynamic point of the match, really, with that perfect combination from the Dutch duo. There's their set point right there. Just too much overwhelming power from the Dutch down the stretch there at the end of that first set.
Still smiles on the face of the Japanese supporters. Their team are battling. At one point in that first set, had a chance to win a service game that would have given him a 2-point edge. At the time, that felt decisive, Paul. You noted that at the moment, and it turned out to be, in fact, probably the turning point of the set.
Yeah, when you're playing a team like the GROOT and Van Koot, you're going to get a couple of looks sometimes. And then if that door does not get fully pushed open, that door might be closed for the rest of the day. Right now, it got closed on this set. We'll see how the Japanese respond. Can they bring the same amount of energy? But now the Dutch are fully aware of what they're up against and how to combat it. They've got the weaponry to exploit it.
And that's a good point, because this is actually, unbelievably, the first time that these teams have actually met.
Yeah, right. The partnerships have been kind of rotational for the Japanese players, but for the Dutch, it's been a little bit more of a consistent thing. And ultimately, you'd have to think that that long-standing partnership of the GROOT and Aniek Van Koot comes through in moments like that moment we saw at 4-3 when the pressure was on and they were able to answer. A lot of that goes to, we've played together, we've been in these moments before, we know how to answer in these moments.
Well, answer they certainly did, taking out the first set 6-4 in this best-of-3 gold medal game. Wheelchair tennis, women's doubles. We are at the legendary Roland Garros. On the premier court, Philippe Chatrier. Paris 2024. And so well supported by the fans and the people of Paris and the people of France. Athletes are grateful for it as we begin set number 2.
Yeah, you and I were talking in preparation for this match about the contrast between these games and Tokyo. And the fans, that's the singular and most dynamic aspect of what was difference between two great cities hosting two great events.
Well, what a point to open set number 2.
Somewhat similar to the point that opened up set number 1. Everybody getting involved, everybody getting a look. The outcome there, the error off the racket of the GROOT on the attack.
Dismissive wave of the hand from Van Koot on that first serve attempt. Effective second serve, however.
You know, as I'm thinking about this match here, you know, one of the interesting dynamics is the Dutch and their ability to play a couple different styles. And they can go heavy on the attack, as we've seen many times in this match. They can go consistent if necessary. The Japanese have kind of one game plan, and that's the consistent game plan, the steady game plan. They really don't have the option to say, all right, we're going to go aggressive and really start to dictate play here. And that's what just continues to give this Dutch team a pretty heavy advantage here.
We have seen the Japanese attack, but in different ways. They will try to go deep into court, pin into the corner. Create some angles occasionally, but you're right, the firepower of this Dutch duo is quite something. Just wide. De Groot wants another look at it. She's not convinced. Allows the chair umpire to have a look as well.
Some question, might be ball good here. I think we're going to get an overturn.
Still worth asking the question. And respect to the chair umpire.
Number one player in the world, perhaps number one eyes in the world from Diede de Groot there. She was convinced from the start that that ball was good.
So the point will be replayed. Aniek in the chair. Well, you knew that de Groot wanted to hammer that one. She was lining it up.
I was looking at the middle there. I thought that was looking tasty. And then she said, yeah, that's probably what the Japanese are thinking as well. All started with a tremendous serve there by Van Koot to set that up. Another great serve.
Service winner.
And that was one of the few things that the Dutch didn't do well in the first set, is serve with any great proficiency. But if they get that thing going here and get the serves dialed in, another area going to be a problem for Team Japan. Yep, go forward just a little bit more there, Aniek. Don't let that ball quite drop that much. She knows it. Gets it about another 6, 8 inches higher. She's able to drive through that ball.
Still game point for the Netherlands. Oh, went for the winner, but it's long.
But she made the adjustment, got on that ball the way she should. That's the kind of air she can live with right there.
We are at deuce. Unforced error creates another game point for the Netherlands. do get the feeling if the Netherlands can get themselves a service game clear, could become an unstoppable force. We're a long way away from that. First game, second set. Once again going for the winner, but just wide. Do you like the tactics, Paul?
I do. I like that right there. Kind of breaking pattern a little bit. And again, that's something that pays off later. So now Tanaka knows, I've got to respect that. She didn't miss that by much. I've got to respect that shot. Now that maybe opens up something else in the future. It's like a message delivered. And again, scoreboard in favor of the Dutch at the time. What's the worst thing that happens? We go back to deuce. Don't make that same decision, probably down a break point right there. Go with consistency.
Nice backhand from Tanaka. Approaches. What a rally, what a point. Japan prevail.
Testing the patience of the Dutch, predominantly on the racket of Van Koot, who was strong in the early going to that point. But in the end, she produces the error.
Great point for Japan.
Looked like early on going here, maybe easy hold is now turned into a real battle.
Court. And that one is long, and that will be a break. Japan down a set. Get the early service break in set number 2.
And it's just one game in here, but some frustration there. Dutch really wanted that hold. Didn't get it. Had their chances.
1-0, set number 2, women's doubles gold medal match at the Paralympic Games. KAMIJI and Tanaka on serve. Second game of the second set. Chair umpire asking the spectators to please take their seats. Another very good crowd on hand at Philippe Chartrier.
We haven't had a 2-game advantage except for the set closeout there. It's been back and forth, back and forth. If Japan here could somehow get that 2-point advantage, what they were looking for at 4-3 in the first set, be significant.
And it is KAMIJI Yui. on serve. First point goes to the Netherlands, however. De Groot.
Just pushes that ball so deep, gets on top of Tanaka. She's not able to generate anything.
Cross-court, corner court play, but that approach a little bit too strong from Aniek to Van Koot, rather. $15-all. Server's let. Second serve will be retaken. Japanese team very apparently targeting Van Koot.
It's an uncharacteristic attack at the front court from the Japanese there, and it produces really nice swinging volley off the forehand side there. Van Koot, I mean, de Groot cannot corral it. But you're right, Hans. Looks like they're really going to try to hone in on Van Koot for a moment or two here.
Cord. And the return is long. Definite frustration.
Yeah, that's left over. I think a little bit of that is left over from that first service game. I think Aniek came out serving well in the early part of that game. Japanese hung in there and ultimately got the break. And she was showing some clear frustrations in that moment. Bleeding over here into game number 2.
Multiple game points here for the Japanese, and there it is. Crucial service hold for Japan, and they do get that 2-game gap here in the second set.
Currently at an 2-to-1 unforced error ratio. 8 for the Dutch, 2 for the Japanese in this set. Only 2 games in.
So can the defending Paralympic Games women's doubles champions from the Netherlands rally? They're 1 set to the good, but 2 games to the bad. Here in the second set, it will be Diede de Groot to serve.
Thank you.
Oh, lovely backspin approach.
Yeah, you're typically anticipating her driving the backhand. That's her bread and butter. So in that moment right there, when she cuts it, drops it, kind of caught on your heels a little bit. Clearly taking a lot off that serve there just to make sure that it's in. Wanting to keep that percentage higher wisely. Attack against Van Koot continues. Excellent get. A little bit out of sorts now on the Japanese side. Now settle it down right here, something high.
Patience paying off for the Netherlands on that point.
Saw a nice little attack there by the Japanese, and nice job by Tanaka up at net, but the Dutch able to kind of hold up underneath it, outsteady the Japanese there.
De Groot nets that attacking shot, uncharacteristic for her. Having a stronger service game so far in this game, however, Diede de Groot.
But you can see she's backed way off on that serve. She's kind of just rolling them in. Not looking to do damage with the serve at all. I don't think they want to be hitting many second serves. Don't trust it enough.
KOOT and Tanaka having their own private match here. Thanks to KAMIJI. Down the line. Aggressive forehand from de Groot. Too hot to handle for KAMIJI.
But the Dutch showing their ability to be patient when backed into that option. Grind out a couple of points here.
Service hold crucial for the Netherlands here.
Back on the attack, and it pays off. They get a much-needed hold on the de Groot serve. Now we go to that Tanaka service game, which has been a place that the Dutch have been able to really exploit throughout that entire first set. 3 breaks against her serve. Certainly going to be confident.
Roof is closed at Philippe Chatrier. Rain earlier in the day in Paris, but thanks to that retractable roof, not a factor in terms of the playing conditions for the athletes. Gold medal game, wheelchair tennis women's doubles final. Diede de Groot, Aniek van KOOT of the Netherlands looking to defend the title that they won in Tokyo. Took the first set, but here in set number 2, it is KAMIJI Yui and TANAKA Manami of Japan with a 2-1 lead.
Classic rock.
Very entertaining.
Classic rock. We got that too. We got great wheelchair tennis, and we get classic. Oh, come on. And the fans are loving it.
Oh, for a minute. Well, never mind. We're certainly on the red clay of dreams here at Roland Garros.
Somebody's coming away with a dream come true here, for sure. Anytime you're in a gold medal match, that's what dreams are made of.
See that red clay on the casters front and back on these specialist chairs that the wheelchair tennis athletes use.
You find the red clay in places you can't even imagine after you've been playing on these courts for a while. You go home and weeks later, hey, what's this? Red clay. Dutch a little bit more prepared for that Tanaka drop now than they were earlier in the match. She's not catching them off guard anymore.
Backspin drop attempt. Read well by Van Koot.
And again, without as many weapons, arrows in the quiver for the Japanese, if they can eliminate one like they have right now, in my opinion, they've eliminated that drop shot as being a real concern for them. They're anticipating it better. They're taking it away from Tanaka now. And now that becomes just neutral. That's a bit of a difference maker. There's that heavy pressure on the Tanaka serve. The return coming right at her, locking her up. She's really good once she gets her chair going. She gets into her rhythm. She's incredibly reliable. But in this position right here, from that stationary spot while you're serving, she's been susceptible. KAMIJI almost baiting Van Koot right now to go somewhere else.
Come up the line, I dare you. Nope, I'm going cross court for the winner. Great shot.
Van Koot saying, not taking the bait. Beautifully delivered forehand cross-court winner right there.
Triple break point. This for the Netherlands to get back on serve. And they will get a look at second serve. Still alive.
No, Tanaka did a phenomenal job of digging that one out, keeping that point, like you said, alive. Right here. Great get.
And a well-deserved fist pump. That was an amazing get.
Still a lot of work to do here, up against 2 more break points.
Please.
And a disappointing way to end the game with a service break. But a very valuable service break for the Netherlands. That draws them level. 2 games all, second set.
Probably been the most consistent thing we've seen in this match so far is the breaks of serve on the Tanaka service games. That's going to be just a location that the Dutch are going to continue to look to press, and know, and almost have a comfort level when they get to that Tanaka service game. One thing you don't want is a dangerous Dutch team feeling comfortable.
Aniek Van Koot now serving for the Netherlands. Best of 3 sets. Gold medal match. Double fault in return. Love 15. Van Koot and de Groot looking to repeat as Paralympic Games champions. tight roping the line. Patience again, paying dividends for the Netherlands.
Showing that they're capable in that department. And that can be disheartening when you think you have an advantage against a team and you find out, you know what, they can be steady, just as steady as us. Now what? Japan knows they can't match them in the winner hitting category. They have to outplay them in the steady game. And now the Dutch showing they're capable in that department.
Wow, what a return. KAMIJI Yui with the winner.
Haven't even seen many attempts like that. Just seized that little opportunity. Diede heavily favoring the center location. Left shaking her head there.
Tanaka again cross court. Good get from de Groot.
Court's open, but now back to neutral. De Groot takes over.
Yes, indeed, it was, in fact, Aniek van Kut covering ground. Back to 30-all.
And that was a drop shot winner multiple times in the first set. Now that's become just another ball in play. Just shows you the adaptability of the Dutch and their ability to start picking up on that nuance of that shot from Tanaka. Prepared now to cover that.
Volley attempt, short hop volley attempt from de Groot.
Nice aggressive ball there through the middle by Tanaka. Didn't look to just go steady, looked to go a little bit bigger.
Break point for Japan. Falls into the service court for a let. Extra moment from van Kut. Tanaka mishits. That will take us back to deuce.
Looks like the Japanese attempting to up their aggression just a little bit here. They certainly look like they're looking to take a few more opportunities to press the action. That missed opportunity there. We'll see if van Kut and de Groot can get back on track here with this service game. Broke van Kut the first game of this set.
And a come on from Aniek van Kut. Trying to fire each other up. And they now have the advantage. So from becoming perilously close to getting broken, chance to hold. And there it is.
Time forehand, Aniek van KOOT. Says enough is enough. Tired of steady.
When the strength of your game is aggression, the aggression will come out at the big moments. The Netherlands now with a 3-2 lead in the second set of this best of 3, leading 1 set to love in the women's doubles gold medal match at the Paralympic Games, Paris 2024.
Can be found in the food and beverage concession. The refund service will close 30 minutes after the end of your session.
Time.
Spectators enjoying their day at Roland Garros. It's the gold medal match in women's doubles. The Netherlands leading 1 set to love and 3-2 in the second set of the best of 3. Netherlands looking to repeat as Paralympic Games women's doubles champions. The only winners of women's doubles ever at the Paralympic Games have been teams from the Netherlands, and Diede de GROOT and Aniek van KOOT trying to keep that tradition alive.
You almost wonder if they should change it from gold medal to orange medal. They've established that that's the way it's going to be. They're on track for it once again here. That last point being a great indicator that de GROOT very much engaged here. Saw van KOOT close out the last game.
Oh, there's a drop shot winner from Tanaka. Lovely shot. I wonder what happens if you rub a little red clay on a gold medal. I wonder if you get orange.
I think for a period of time. Yep.
Lovely shot here. That return is long. Early advantage in this game. The team from Japan, and as ever, Japan love their sports people. Follow them intently. I can assure you that there are many, many, many people watching this match in Japan. First time a Japanese team has ever reached the gold medal game in women's doubles. Tanaka coming to the net. A rare foray forward, but perhaps the point in the match, Paul, where they're having to take some chances like that.
Yeah, I think they're sensing that we've got to do a few things differently. You know, we can't outsteady them. They're getting their aggressive posture, you know, figured out. Whacking balls past us. We're going to have to press the action a little bit. It was a good opportunity there. Had a good look. Not the right approach, not the wrong approach. But when you don't get a lot of reps doing that, it's tough in the big moments to all of a sudden just pull it out. Saw Tanaka once again looking to go forward there. Might stay up here on this one.
Deep approach. Oh, an excellent point and a fist pump from Tanaka.
Really the Dutch in charge of that point there. for most of it. Really a great job by the Japanese to scrap, stay in it, get themselves a chance here. Now a point from 3-all.
A couple of high sitters on the forehand for the GROOT on the previous point, but as you said, Paul, excellent defensive returns from Japan, and now a chance to hold. Oh, there's a winner!
KAMIJI delivers on the forehand. Look at that thing just finding the corner, and 3-all it is, much to the dismay of the Dutch.
We have got ourselves quite the gold medal final. It's what you hope for.
It's been high quality. Both teams really showing why they're here in this match. There's no doubt. I would say right now, these are the #1 and #2 teams. And that is seeds holding true.
Diede de GROOT on serve for the Netherlands.
We'll see if a little bit of that renewed aggression from Japan continues.
That return goes long.
And that's an example right there. That error comes from, she was planning on hitting that and coming forward. You could kind of see that's what she was setting up, and it's not something she does that much. So she's a little out of sorts there in that moment. Gets a little ahead of herself, already thinking, all right, I'm coming forward, I'm ready to volley, and doesn't execute the approach.
Good look there. The racket grip and the chair. Good overhead from KAMIJI. TANAKA again attempting to drop, and KOOT's all over it. Defensive lob. Now some heat. Cross court. Great get. And there's a winner. What a point.
They outsteadied them. They defended. They finally got a look. And KAMIJI cleans it up here with the forehand. A distraught Van Koot left to just look at it, pass her by.
15-all.
That's a frustration swing right there. That's like, I just want to swing out here. I want to drive something, finish a point. I don't want to rally anymore.
Does that tell us something? Do the longer points, do you feel, Paul, favor the team from Japan over the long haul in this game?
I mean, that's the game they want. They don't want the quick points. They're not the ones that can typically deliver that. They know that the Dutch can, so they want to lure them in. And here we go with another chance here. 2 break points on the de GROOT serve for the Japanese to go up 4-3, a place that they were at in the first set. Couldn't separate from that point on.
Well, there's an important winner from Van Koot.
Every time you think it's the Japanese who have the momentum, you get a shot like that. Just finishes things off. The Dutch get tough again. Fight that off. 1 break point gone. This is where some firepower from Japan would really come in handy to put pressure on this second serve, but it's not going to be there.
Awkward position, but de Groot does well.
It's open. Thought that line on the Van Koot side was open for KAMIJI.
With her back to the court, Diede de
Not
Groot
gonna get it. And a little frustration there. Opportunity lost. That's just raw strength from de Groot right there. Able to just drive that ball into the corner from a bad position on the court.
With her chair 180 degrees away from the net. We're back to deuce. Well, they say big matches have moments. This one feels like a moment to me, Paul.
You could really see KAMIJI trying to dictate, trying to impose herself. And right there on the attack, it's de Groot who reads it, knows exactly what she wants to do, where she wants to go with it, and delivers. Topspin lob artistry right there from de Groot.
What a service hold this would be for the Netherlands.
Quite a turnaround. Just moments away, we were 15-40. Japan with the momentum. Suddenly it's Dutch. Just wide. Thought she had it.
I thought she had it too.
I did. Looked like it. Just missed.
Game of millimeters, sometimes we are at deuce. It's been quite an epic seventh game of this second set. That return is long. Once again, another game point coming up for the Netherlands.
Yeah, this was the moment at 4-3. We were at that same kind of place at 4-3 in the first set. Here we are at 3-3. It seems like this is going to be the difference maker game.
Oh, goodness. Diede de Groot.
Bonjour, mademoiselle, double fault.
Yes. I'm not happy to see you at this moment in time.
Not at all.
Back to deuce. KAMIJI awaits. Van Koot has to come forward. Sets up for KAMIJI. Being played a little bit cautiously just now. Backspin. Has to fight it off just in the court. Volley from Tanaka. Good fend from KAMIJI. An absolutely epic point at Philippe Chartier.
It's the veteran Van Koot delivering the final blow there. Too much power through the middle. KAMIJI cannot respond. You're right, it was an epic point, a momentum swinger. Now, can the Dutch close it out here and take the 4-3 lead? Last chance here, double fault from de Groot. Repeats.
And again, double faulting on the ad court side. You could see the anguish. Paul, you noted earlier that she'd taken something off first serve to try and increase that first serve percentage, but at the worst possible times now, consecutive double faults for the world number one. We're back to deuce.
High drama continues here. Philippe Chatrier, women's gold medal match.
And another twist in the tail in the 7th game. 3rd break point now for Japan.
Don't want to be hitting this second serve. Muscles it in.
Feel the tension. Dropper.
Too much.
And that one is long. Another break point survived.
Tough to be able to finish this point with a slice right here. You want to be aggressive. She tries to be aggressive. Too much air. You've got topspin. That ball comes down, runs, finishes. That's the difference. Opportunity lost again for Japan.
What a game this 7th game has turned out to be. We are back at deuce. Both teams have had opportunities to win the game. And now it's the turn of the Dutch. Advantage Netherlands.
To their credit, the Dutch keep swinging. Not even sure that that was a clean one from de Groot. She'll take anything she can get right now.
Yeah, at this point in a scrap like this, winning ugly is secondary to winning. Goodness gracious, double fault number 3 from that court. From the world number 1, Diede de Groot. Making things tough on herself.
Mentioned yesterday she was struggling on the deuce side. And just like that, it's the ad side.
We are back to deuce. Well, I have to laugh because this one has been like the world's longest arm wrestling match. 4th break point now for Japan. What a game. Again, netting first serve. Fights it into the court.
Boy, when she's needed it most, she's had it.
And that one is long, and it's a huge break for Japan. In a 7th game that had absolutely everything, both teams having chances to hold or to break. It is a break, and a huge one for KAMIJI and Tanaka of Japan. They lead at 4-3. Second set, gold medal match in women's doubles at the Paralympic Games. Well, what a picture that is. Philippe Chartier, the premier court, the premier tennis venue for clay court tennis. Roland Garros. It is the gold medal match, wheelchair tennis women's doubles.
And we're circling back to the Tanaka service game, the place of comfort for the Dutch in a moment when they need comfort and something that they can be confident in, because it wasn't in that last service game from Diede de Groot. They have dominated this matchup so far in this match today. Will that continue?
Oh, there's a great placed winner from KAMIJI Yui.
The drop shot separates the Dutch. This time, KAMIJI able to drive the ball through the separated Dutch right here. The get pulls Van Koot out of position. One shot, perfect location, delivered by KAMIJI. If the Japanese could get a hold on this serve, it would be monumental.
First serve clips the top of the net, falls in for a let.
Really all depends on the early going of the return. If they can really get after the returns, they take charge. That first point there, they didn't really take charge of the point right off the return. We'll see if it changes here.
Good attacking that return, just as you said, Paul.
It's really all about that first strike, and if they get to Tanaka and put her on her heels, they tend to be in charge. If they can let her get running, playing field's leveled. Japan might even have the slight advantage all of a sudden.
15-all. Oh, an aggressive forehand attempt from de Groot finds the net. Tanaka Manami trying to scrap her way through a service game. Up 30-15. Just long. You hear the come on.
And there's the difference. We've had two returns from Van Koot, not particularly strong. Tanaka handles it, gets them in the point. Two returns from de Groot, both dynamic. air is forced off that, we're at 30-all. Pattern is really holding.
Deep approach just inside the line. Good communications. Fully to the barrier. Oh, what a point for the Netherlands. Aniek van Koot almost had to take that one out to the car park.
What a great get here. Kind of timed it despite getting ready to run into the wall. Opportunity there on the backhand side. KAMIJI a little out of sorts there, lost in mid-court. In between hops, error.
Break point. Good take charge. Winner!
That topspin backhand is the difference. We saw the opportunity lost on the backhand of KAMIJI earlier when she had a slice. Here, no doubt, the finishing power of de Groot on display.
Once again, the Netherlands managed to break the serve of Tanaka, and we are back level on serve, 4-4 in the second set.
Been the story of the day.
The finish line getting tantalizingly in view for the Netherlands, but probably feeling no comfort at this moment.
4-3 games have been the difference maker in both sets. Both times, Japan with a chance to separate, don't get it done. Dutch level the playing field. They rolled it from there in the first. We'll see if they can do the same here.
Just long. Oh, a good switch. Impatience paying off, and a bit of frustration there from Tanaka. She just got tied up a little bit.
Yeah, the difference there is the opportunity that was presented earlier in the point. Van Koot digs the drop shot out. No, Van Koot got the drop shot. De Groot takes the neutral position on the court, settles things down until the opportunity presents for them to get on the offensive. And those opportunities that Japan just can't quite close out on when they've opened up the court. That's been the difference.
15-all. And that's that one. So a tension relieving point for Japan. 15-30. Sometimes the net's your friend, and sometimes it's not.
Boy, here in this tournament, they have stayed on the side of the hitter more than gone over. There are tight nets here. That's been my impression. Very few going net cord over.
Good maneuvers around the forehand. Big stretch for GROOT. Tanaka comes forward. The volley. Open court. Good get. Defensive lob. Wow, what a point that was.
The Dutch out rallying the Japanese there. The GROOT posting up in the center of the court and dictating play for the majority of that point.
4 games to 4 in the set. 30 points to 30 points in the game. Dead even, second set. That approach goes long. And this brings up, well, yet another crucial moment in this match. Japan has yet another look at a break point at a crucial time in the second set. And there is the break. Game on in this gold medal match.
The Dutch stick to their game plan, stay aggressive, and it costs them in that one. The GROOT looking to deliver on the forehand side, catches the tape. It is 5-4 Japan, a place they have not been yet. They have a chance to level things here if they can hold.
sélectionnera les meilleures images des Jeux à diffuser sur le site de Paris 2024.
Paralympic Games in Paris 2024 invites you to share your images of the games to social media for display on our venue video board. Simply scan the QR code on the video board now to send your content, and our team will select the best images from across the games to show across Paris 2024.
Frige appearing everywhere in Paris, including on people's heads, at Philippe Chatrier, Paralympic Games mascot. Here's another look. Les Deux Friges. We have got ourselves a match, folks. Women's doubles gold medal match, wheelchair tennis. We are at Roland Garros, Paralympic Games, Paris 2024. KAMIJI Yui to serve.
Everything you would want in a gold medal match. High drama, intensity, just pressure points. We're not even close to the end of it.
Japan a service hold away from leveling this match.
Dropper from Van Koot this time. She returns in kind.
Well, that's very astute, Paul. She's been chasing Tanaka drop shots, it seems, the entire match, and that time, Aniek Van Koot, perfect placement.
Yeah, really turned the table there. Again, showing off her experience, high IQ.
Backhand slice is netted by Tanaka. A little finger point and a nice one, Diede.
And that's all about the gets that Van Koot has produced. Tried to be better with the drop shot right there. Couldn't deliver it. All because Aniek Van Koot has dug out about a half a dozen of them so far today.
Powerful forehand. Sets up the winner, Diede de Groot. Showing us why she is the world #1 in women's singles.
Ultimately, I think it's that shot, the forehand of de Groot, that could be the difference maker here down the stretch.
Triple break point.
The Dutch have been up against it. They have answered every time so far today.
Kind of fight that one off. That one is wide, so it's a service break to love for the Netherlands. Up against it they were, but boy did they answer.
Disheartening to be broke at love right there. Really takes the wind out of the sails. Momentum with the 5-4 lead now gone. Back to 5-all. Will de Groot get the first serves in?
We're about to find out as Diede de Groot opens it up in this 5-5 game. If we get to 6-all, of course, we will have a tiebreaker.
Just want to get to 15 love here in this first point.
Amen.
Oof. De Groot gives the nod, saying, yeah, I'm going to keep swinging that.
You know that on her own serve, and she knows as well as anybody that first serve has been a struggle for her, that she'll want to make up for that once the ball's in play. Job one, get the ball in play. No, double fault. My gosh.
It's almost hard to explain or even figure, like, how could it be that somebody with her level just struggling at that particular location, serving to the ad side. Typically a right-hander's home court, really.
Love 30. And now the opportunity again for Japan.
Talking to themselves. If I were coaching DeGroot right now, I would tell her, change your positioning on the court. Because servers are historically habitual. They go to the same location. I would say go somewhere else. Find a new picture for yourself to see. She gets that one in, though.
Facing 3 break points.
This is when the Dutch have been superior today up against it.
Well, once again, they survive a break point.
Don't let them get back in this. Do not let them get back in this.
And there's the net, and it is the break. DeGroot broken on serve.
Of all the places we talked about the DeGroot forehand being the difference maker, it might be the forehand error that's the difference maker.
Japan with an opportunity to serve for the set. They lead 6-5 in the second set of this women's doubles gold medal match at the Paralympic Games. Number 1 seeds from the Netherlands are getting all they can handle from the number 2 seeds from Japan.
Can Manami Tanaka have the service game of her life right here?
Miss hits the backhand slice. First point goes to the Netherlands. Japan trying to force a third and deciding set.
You know, talked about positioning. I think if I'm Tanaka, I go 3-4 feet back behind that baseline and serve from there. She's on top of that baseline. When a deep return comes, it typically ties her up, doesn't allow her to do anything behind it. I'd give up space in front of her.
Paul Walker, wheelchair tennis coach, certainly knows what he's talking about here. They have been attacking Tanaka on service return. Cross-court long. Get for the GROOT for the winner. Perhaps feeling she owes her teammate one. with the struggles on serve, but what a terrific point that was.
And KAMIJI in a tough spot to have to defend there. Too many options for de Groot. She's got angle, she's got center. She ultimately takes line.
De Groot disguises so well. Good dig.
Tanaka just doing everything she can to fight these attacks off.
Long stretch. And a fist pump from the world #1. They do not want to let this go to a third set.
The Dutch, they embrace being down. They embrace backs up against the wall.
Triple break point to send us to a tie break.
Well, I think that's going to be dynamic.
KAMIJI. Get. Somehow fighting it over the net. But there's the winner.
This time. Boy, the Dutch did a super job of closing that middle down. Both of them here committed to it. The second go round. KAMIJI splits him.
Keeping the game alive, but still 2 break points. Get the feeling that Aniek van Koot will absolutely attack second serve. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. We're going to a tie break in the second set of the gold medal game. Wheelchair tennis, Paralympic Games, Paris 2024.
A much relieved team Netherlands there in the stands. We could potentially be looking at a tiebreaker situation here, which would be highly dramatic if Japan can force the match tiebreak. Work to be done here in the set tiebreak.
Paul, for new fans, explain the second set tiebreak for us versus the third set tiebreak.
Yeah, this is a typical set tiebreak. First to 7, win by 2. Really, your standard set tiebreak, not a match tiebreak. Not yet.
Too good. Diede de Groot.
We just go point by point here. Now each server will have 2 serves at their disposal. First person to start the tiebreaker gets 1. Everybody else after this, 2 serves. We keep rotation.
KAMIJI on serve. That approach is long. So we are on serve so far in this tiebreak. That's wide. Here's the first mini break.
Kind of an ill-advised offensive attack there from Tanaka. Not a lot of space to get that ball down the line in a big tiebreaker. Probably need to play percentages unless there's an opening.
Now, can Diede de Groot find court on her serve. No. It's been the story of the match from the ad court for the world #1. And double faults yet again from the ad court.
I hate to use this phrase, but that definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And right now, that's what I'm seeing from Diede to GROOT, going to that same serve location, trying the same serve. Mix it up, change it, go out wider, just get a different picture in your head, just to relieve that pressure. She's seeing the same thing over and over.
So the mini break advantage gone, back on serve in this tie break. Get second serve in.
Too much. Nope. Good. That's too much. Thought that the drop from Tanaka was going to go wide. It finds the sideline. It's the GROOT who pushes the ball deep.
So Japan now with the mini break. Tanaka to serve. To GROOT. To receive. She'll be looking to atone for the service error. Up the middle.
Yeah, Tanaka able to get some court positioning though and settle things down. Now we're at neutral.
Approach by GROOT. Good return from KAMIJI. Big spin!
Oh. That was not really necessarily a full-on attempted dropper. That's just kind of a dig-out dropper that had a ton of juice on it. Exactly what Tanaka, she just digs this thing out and ends up just finding extra spin off that frame.
Maximum effort from Van Koot to try and dig it out. Can't get there. Edge to Japan in this tiebreak.
And as is the custom in the tiebreak, we switch sides at the accumulation of 6 total points. And that's where we're at, 4-2 for Japan.
Tanaka to serve. And KOOT with that aggressive backhand coming forward right at Tanaka.
Yeah, no hesitation there. They're going to say, I don't think this is a place you want to play tennis with us up here in the front court. We're not going away from you. We're not going to KAMIJI in that moment. We're going to attack you, Tanaka, and we're going to make you prove you can beat us at the net. Certainly the place that she does not want to be.
Tennis players of the future here at Philippe Chatrier. Fantastic crowd on hand. Gold medal game, women's doubles. Then KOOT serving 3-4 in this tiebreak.
Don't expect Yui KAMIJI to get many tennis balls hit to her throughout the entirety of this exchange.
A real battle on that point. Perseverance paying off that time for Japan.
You can tell that nobody is comfortable on the court right now, and you can understand why. In the middle of a second set tiebreaker to force a match tiebreaker in a gold medal match, all players are just a little bit on edge right now.
Netherlands to serve 3-5. First to 7 by 2 will win the tiebreak.
Yeah, just can any one individual get out of that nervous mode and deliver?
And there is another point to Japan, and they do have multiple set points here in the second.
You're one of the interesting dynamics when you've been a team like the GROOT and Van KOOT, when you win, you know what, at the heavy majority, overwhelming majority, you're not in these positions very often. And so you really don't have that experience because they breeze the vast majority of the time when they play. Here they are in this biggest moment of all time up against it, but they've been good today in these moments.
KAMIJI Yui, set point.
That was a confident swing there from Diede to GROOT. Difference.
With the drop, and
good enough. A mishit drop shot winner for the set.
We are going to a third set decider in the wheelchair tennis women's doubles gold medal match. Japan win the tiebreak, win the second set 7-6. We are going to a deciding third set. Stats from set number 2. We are going to a tiebreak.
I mean, I think in this instance, you throw the stats out the window. They're of no concern. It's about the human element on court here right now. And that's what we're seeing on display. We saw it on display in that tiebreaker. We're going to see it on display now going forward. How did we get here in the second set? Here's the highlights. It's a pretty back and forth set, as was the first one. It was late in the set. Japan got a hold of it, and they hung on. Netherlands battled back to force the tiebreaker, but in the tiebreaker, Japan was too steady, came up with a couple of great shots. And in the end, it ended up being a mishit drop shot winner that gave the set to Japan.
TANAKA Manami
right here.
Only athlete out there without a Grand Slam singles title to her name, but coming up big in the big moment.
We knew she was going to be under a lot of pressure here today, but she answered right there in that moment. High drama here in the gold medal match. Everything you would want. All on the line going forward.
First time a Japanese women's pair have ever made the final in women's doubles. And they are on the brink. Well, they've already made history. But one set for all the marbles, Paul. Anything can happen.
Yeah, the real history would be that somebody other than the Dutch winning gold medal in the women's doubles.
Has been the happy place for Dutch tennis, women's doubles at the Paralympic Games.
They've done pretty well in the singles, too.
Well, they sure have.
Yeah. But we're focused on doubles right now.
We certainly are.
And, man, This is a moment. This is potentially a moment.
Now, Paul, you've coached a lot of elite tennis players in your time. We spoke earlier in the match about the mindsets of the favorites versus the underdogs, but in this kind of a situation now where championship game and kind of all on the line, you know, take us through some of the thinking process for both of these teams at the mid-set break.
Yeah, I think a lot of breathing has to go on right here. A lot of just positive conversations have to go on right here. What's been working, kind of a quick review. What's been working? What is our strength? Always remind about strengths first. Forget about weaknesses. Forget about things you haven't done well perhaps in the match. What are your strengths? What are my strengths? Let's see if we can get to those. The Dutch, they're strikers of the ball. That should be what they want to get back to. Not the tentative play that we've seen down the stretch here. They've, you know, the Japanese have kind of lured them into that tentative kind of just, you know, steady play. The Dutch are not built that way. They can play it, but their preference is to bang a little bit, to get aggressive, to press the action. Diede de Groot's got to step up and be the world #1. Aniek van Koot's got to be the rock. If they can get back to that formula, I think it favors the Dutch. But the Japanese, you know, can Yui KAMIJI come up with some big shots? It's really on her racket as being a former world #1, currently the world #2. Tanaka's the only one that hasn't been in an opportunity like this ever in her career. Not really a mainstay in the Grand Slam environment yet in her career. Certainly not at the Paralympic Games. Has she ever been in a moment like this? Can she just play her role, which has been steady? She's played it really well so far today. And can she come up with maybe 1 or 2 moments where she has to step up? If she can, it would be remarkable. But she's been good. She's been great, really, quite frankly, so far today.
No, I'd agree with that. And you mentioned Diede de Groot. I mean, she has struggled on serve from the ad court. And, you know, how as a coach do you kind of gently approach that topic? You said, and I agree, you know, playing to your strengths. How do you address that aspect of her game at this point? Do you just leave it alone?
Yeah, I think it's not something you bring up. Yeah, I don't know if the coach is going to address something about your serve. I mean, it's certainly, you're not going to talk about anything technical. You're going to say something like, you know what? You've hit a million phenomenal serves in your life. You only need to hit a couple going down the stretch here. So you know what? Remember the million great serves you've hit in your lifetime and go out and hit a few more right now. Just plant some sort of a seed that could be positive for her to kind of grow off of. But you know what? I look up here at Philippe Chatrier Stadium. Victory belongs to the most tenacious. It's on the stadium. Here we are. Who's going to be the most tenacious?
1 set all. Netherlands versus Japan. It is the gold medal match. Women's doubles tennis at the Paralympic Games, Paris 2024.
This is a match tiebreak. Yep. So much like we saw in the end of the set there, this match tiebreak format is the same. 1 serve, now everybody back and forth with 2, but we go to 10 points. Just a little extended version of that tiebreaker to determine this match. So we do not have a full 3rd set here. That's been the format throughout these games, and this is high drama from start to finish right now.
Match tiebreak underway. Magnifies the importance of serve, doesn't it?
Every point is its own game, in essence. That's kind of how you take the approach in tiebreakers. Each point is almost a representative of a full game.
Goodness. Literally throwing the racket at the return.
Well, there's a big return from KAMIJI right there. Talked about who's going to step up and deliver something big. Haven't seen a lot of shots like that off of her racket, but in a big moment, she delivers right there.
First mini break for Japan.
where Tanaka has struggled on her service games. She now only has 2 points. I think for her service, 2 points, if she could get 1 out of 2, that would be a victory for Japan. Net cord.
Tentative forehand from de Groot. Miss hits. Japan seizing an early advantage in the match tiebreak.
KAMIJI looks to be stepping up a little bit in the early going here. Striking the ball a little cleaner with a little bit more conviction. There's that 1 out of 2 points for the Tanaka serve. That would be good enough for them right now. 2 would be a real bonus.
Deep in the corner. And that one nets. Japan leading it 4-1 in the match tiebreak. Tanaka holding.
2 points off the Tanaka serve is just unbelievable in that moment right there. What's this young lady thinking here, serving right now?
Well, struggled from the ad court for the entire match, and she nets the first serve.
And was tight on a couple of those forehands. Interesting dynamic right now. Gets it in, crucial second serve. Tentative play from the Dutch right now.
And that one is long.
The Japanese are just outplaying the Dutch right now. 5-1, halfway there. But it is, as they say, there's a saying in these match tiebreak, it's a long way to 10. If it was a 7-point tiebreaker, boy, it would be huge advantage for Japan. But at 5-1, there's a long way to go in this tiebreaker. Can have some big momentum swings. But what a start for Japan. Couldn't be better.
The race to 10 is on, and Japan are 4 points clear. Good.
The style of play right now heavily favoring Japan.
The Netherlands playing a little bit tentatively in this match tiebreak. Japan playing with some confidence now. Tanaka again with a good get. There's some venom in a forehand, but a good get by KAMIJI.
Finds the line. Oh, miss hit there. G. Watch out for a forehand cross court from Van Koot eventually here. She gets a good look. Might want to try to whistle one past KAMIJI.
There's the cross court, but it comes from de Groot.
Nobody wanting to go anywhere near that net right now. Everything, big clearance, big high safe shots, tentative tennis.
There's an attacking shot from the GROOT and a drop. And that's a beauty!
Maybe that's what it took right there to get her relaxed, pressure off. That was a nice forehand, one of her better swings that we've seen. And then a beautiful finish there.
Power to touch for Diede de GROOT. Still a long way back for the Netherlands. Tough angle. Switch.
This is the side that the Japanese like. I want KAMIJI on that do side. This is the setup they've been trying to get all match.
Another drop, finds the line.
He's there, but pushes it long. 2 drop shots from the Dutch. The big hitters using the soft touch to maybe claw their way back into this tiebreaker.
This is turning into an old-fashioned street fight.
Crossed arms from the fans, Dutch fans in the stands, as tension continues. Still a couple points back here in the match tiebreak.
2 consecutive points for the Netherlands. KAMIJI on serve.
Yes, takes the forehand boldly up the line. Didn't hesitate one bit right there.
Well, fortune favors the brave, and on this occasion, there's KAMIJI Yui.
And KOOT caught in between on the bounces there on the return. Gives up the weak return. KAMIJI, no hesitation. Big point there to stem a little bit of the Dutch momentum.
Van KOOT serving 3-6.
Just rolling that serve in, taking no chances.
KAMIJI!
Executed. Second big forehand from KAMIJI.
7-3.
Last one up the line. This one splits the Dutch.
And the Japanese fans are daring to believe. 7-3 in the race to 10 in this match tiebreak. Never, never rule out the Dutch in a situation like this.
Tanaka under pressure right here. KAMIJI settles it down. Another drop shot.
Finding the line. Aniek van KOOT.
I was gonna say, because they're not confident enough to swing out, this is now their best option. The Japanese are waiting for the attacks to come, so they're getting depth in the court. The drop shots are gonna be available.
First to 10. Must win by 2. TANAKA Manami to serve. line.
And stay away from that Van Koot backhand.
Get for de Groot. Volley! Yes!
Overhead winner, relieves the pressure.
7-5. KAMIJI TANAKA.
Another change of sides here at 12 points. Clean, smooth overhead winner there. Earned opportunity and delivered. We mentioned this would be over if it was a set tiebreaker, but we're going to 10. Those added few points make all the difference for momentum swings back and forth. Early momentum for Japan. Slight little change coming now for the Dutch. Looking to get some better swings in, looking a little bit more comfortable on their ground strokes over the course of the last several points.
Throughout the match, the Netherlands have enjoyed success attacking the serve of TANAKA Manami. In the tiebreak, she won consecutive points earlier in this match tiebreak. Now a crucial moment. She's serving with a 2-point lead.
Tentative on that first serve right there. Forehand looking a little bit better for de Groot. Starting to get some better looks and some better swings. And Koot's been steady.
Looping approach. Return with a looping return. Team's just staying in the point.
In between hop, leaves a short ball, opportunity.
Coming forward.
Trying to get the lob in, can't get it over de Groot's head.
Battle of wills. Up the line, but it's wide.
Normally that's a shot with full commitment for Diede de Groot. Lack of commitment there produces the error. Just not committed, and understandable.
Japan 2 points away.
And Diede Groot serving. Any freebies here would be just backbreaking. Gets the first serve in. Is any one player going to step up and deliver here? KAMIJI been strong on the forehand. Dutch have got to keep Japan off of the 9. They do it for this first point. Cannot let him get to 9 because then anything happens. Bad bounce, miscommunication, let cord, and it's over.
Groot to serve. That's the first serve.
Good swings from Van Koot there, looking maybe one of the loosest on the court right now. Can anybody dial in a lob and drop it on a line?
KAMIJI, some variation.
Wow, taking over the court. Look to get the switch back again.
Backhand by the lefty. Backhand slice. Japan have championship point.
There's the number 9, so dangerously on the board now. Anything now, and it's gold medal, Japan. And now the crowd gets into it. They know we have arrived at the moment.
Multiple gold medal points.
Not up. It's the drop shot. It's the only thing that is produced for the Dutch here in this tiebreaker so far. About the 4th point that they've delivered with a drop shot of their 7.
1 gold medal point survived by the defending Paralympic Games champions, Japan, serving for the gold medal.
KAMIJI calling for it, getting forehands. Short ball here. Finds the line. KAMIJI digs it out. Not up.
What a point!
That makes it into the alley. We might be talking a different story. We might be pronouncing gold medal, but not yet. The half volley from de Groot finds the line.
That close. An absolutely epic gold medal final. Netherlands on serve. Still 3rd gold medal point for Japan. Aniek van Koot on serve.
Good ball right there. Opportunity for the Dutch. Just can't get it past DeGroot. She sails it!
Japan have delivered the upset! KAMIJI Yui, TANAKA Manami have claimed the gold medal in women's doubles and made history in Paris.
Almost speechless in this moment. I'll go back to it. Victory belongs to the most tenacious, and on that point itself, it was the Japanese team of KAMIJI and TANAKA who were tenacious and kept getting ball after ball back in play, ultimately forcing the error and getting the gold.
KAMIJI Yui and TANAKA Manami, the first non-Dutch team to ever win a women's doubles Paralympic gold medal. What an occasion, what a moment for Japan. First time they'd reached the final, they've won the gold medal. KAMIJI Yui, and all credit to TANAKA Manami. What a match she had.
She was a rock today under constant pressure, constant assault. She answered, but in the big moments in the match tiebreaker, KAMIJI delivered early with some monstrous forehands to set the tone and get them in a position for gold.
A moment for Japanese tennis. Huge disappointment, of course, for the defending champions, but what a moment this for KAMIJI Yui and TANAKA Manami. They are your champions at the Paralympic Games, Paris 2024.
A somewhat stunned crowd here in Philippe Chatrier, but certainly paying tribute to those two. Smiles as big as the Eiffel Tower.
The crushing other side of the coin, Diede de Groot.
The pain of silver.
And the joy on the expression of the Japanese supporters, and the emotion. An unusual feeling for Diede de Groot. But what a feeling for this pair.
Historic moment for Japanese tennis, for the world of women's wheelchair tennis. Historic moment. The reign of the Dutch at the Paralympic Games has ended for the moment.
Here's match point.
De Groot, as she does so many times, just controlling the action from the court, front court, but just not able to deliver. An overhead she'll think about for the remainder of her life, perhaps.
TANAKA Manami and KAMIJI Yui find themselves at the top of the podium in Paris.
So many times in Paralympic Games, KAMIJI has found herself the bridesmaid. 3 hours on the dot. Every bit of it filled with drama.
Well, a worthy gold medal match. Everything we could have hoped for. And it is Japan, our winners, and Paralympic Games champions in women's doubles. And now, an opportunity to launch some souvenirs into the stands at Philippe Chatrier. You can finally exhale and enjoy the moment.
The loosest forehands that these girls will hit throughout the entirety of this event here on Philippe Chatrier. There will be no tension in these forehands.
Said, I'll take the far end.
possibly the biggest, most amazing forehand Yui KAMIJI's ever hit.
Absolutely sensational. Good catch.
She can't believe it. I've got a match ball from the gold medal match from the historic Japanese team.
So here we have the final rankings in women's doubles. KAMIJI and Tanaka, ranked #1, gold medalists. GROOT and KOOT, #2. Guo and Wang from China, in 3rd position, bronze medalist. Li and Zhu in 4th position. But what an event and what a moment for Japanese tennis.
We talked so much about the tactics and everything. Ultimately, they stayed true to their form. They were just steady, remarkable. Highlights, how did we get here? Was the one shot that was good for the Dutch in the tiebreak. It was the drop shots, but they couldn't produce enough of them. And there it was, the moment. If ever there was a moment, tears of joy were represented right there on the faces of those two from Japan.
When the seemingly impossible becomes possible and becomes real, it's a magic moment.